Hello, Flosstube. Um, this is going to be, I guess, my first update video for 2025. I'm not going to go through everything I've worked on. I'm going to be doing several videos and putting them out about what I did leading up to the New Year's. I participated in 12 by 12, and then I also did an Advent stitch for Three Kings Day, just because I was doing Advent as far as opening up presents for Christmas. So decided to do a Three Kings Day Advent as far as stitching goes. So I'll do separate videos on those things, but I will show you what I've been working on for the past week. And then we will also go over my numbers for 2024. I posted them on Instagram, but I haven't gone on here on my Flosstube and talked about them yet, so we'll go over that. Yes, okay. I'm sorry I didn't do an intro. But my name is Natalia. This is my channel, Official Mermaids Cove, where I talk about my cross-stitching hobby. Welcome to all returning subscribers, and if you're new and you've stumbled across this and you're might be interested in cross-stitch, then feel free to stick around and maybe I'll show something that you're interested in or that you'd like to see. So I will be going through my stats for 2024, what I've worked on for the past week, and maybe my plans moving forward a little bit. We'll see what we do with that, and maybe some future plans. I have some sales that I'm participating in too. I'll try to get those hashtags that we're using for if you want to join us and tag us on Instagram. I know Instagram's still doing that weird thing where you can't always look up hashtags. So if you want to, feel free to use the hashtag and tag me, and I'll be able to more closely follow your progress on that. And that'd be great because I'd love to connect with more stitchers and see what they're stitching on. So let's start with my stats. For 2024, I tallied everything up with using my spreadsheet, using some other things. I might also insert some pictures here that I used to post on Instagram. I tallied it up and I had 50 starts last year. So those 50 starts include the ornaments that I did for Christmas. So there was like 11 snowflakes that I made. I count each of those individually because they were each their own start and their own finish. So it does sound like a big number, but there were some smalls there. I also participated in the smalls ornament exchange for Stitch Florida, so I did like some smalls there for that. I'm not sure if I'm going to post pictures of all my finishes here, but I'll just go through them real quick. I finished my little Minnow. That was by Autumn Lane Cicely. I finished the 8 flower fairies. Those were all individual kits that my younger sister was able to thrift and put aside for me. And she gifted them to me for Christmas, or I can't remember. She gave them to me sometime last year. And I was really happy to stitch those up at the beginning of the year. I also finished Yippee by Stitchman Darcy. And I think I'm still planning on stitching that again sometime. I finished Oh How He Loves Us by Teresa Kogut. She released that pattern as a freebie during Easter. And I actually did fully finish that into a pillow, and I gifted that to Susan at Sweet Sewing Studio when I went to the retreat, because she was the featured designer. And I was really happy with that finish, and I'm really happy that she liked it. I finished Midnight Snowman. That was a Dimensions kit. I stitched on that for Dimensions. All the kits April, hosted by Blushing Pink Stitches on Flosstube. I also finished Nightingale. That was a Mirabilia designed by Nora Corbett, and I gifted that to my aunt when I went down to Florida. She lives in Florida, so while we were there for the retreat, I gifted that to her, as well as my little Minnow that I had framed and for my cousin for her little girl. I did 2 pillows from the pattern Here We May Be Free. The designer is like escaping me at the moment, but I will make sure to put them down below here. Or you can go to my Instagram and you'll see all the details there, because I do post anytime I finish anything and all the details on my Instagram page. I use that more to like document and as like a stitch diary than anything else. So I did 2 of those pillows. So those were 2 starts and finishes. I did the letter E from Nora Corbett, her fairy letters. E for Eleanor, I guess. I did a conversion, and I finished that for my niece for her birthday. I also finished Beauty and the Beast by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I finished Lady Catt. That was one of the bridesmaids fairies or bridal pixies from Nora Corbett. She had like a series of bridal pixies. Lady Catt was one of her designs, and it's one of her smaller designs, and I finished that this year. I also finished the Ever After Sal put on by Forbidden Fiber Co. That was fun. I finished 4 patterns from Susan at Sweet Wing Studios. Bless and Keep, This I Know, Fear Not, and Choose Joy. I finished like a happy birthday card stitch. I still haven't given that away, but I'll probably find a birthday to use it for sometime this year. I finished the Bella Mermaid. I can't remember. It's like Blue Lagoon Mermaid, I believe, off the top of my head. It was one of the Bella Filipina treasures that was an exclusive for the Under the Sea Fabric Mermaid box in 2023. And I've already passed that pattern along. I also finished the Hawaiian Mermaid from Autumn Lane Stitchery. I finished God Creates, which was a kit from Forbidden Fiber Co. And I used the kit fabric and threads. I finished Siren of the Sea, also by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I finished I Tried, which was a cross-stitch studio chart it was like a Grinch chart that I tried with stitching off for my husband, and I did finish that on the 24th, so just before Christmas. And then, of course, I finished all the snowflake ornaments that I did. So that totaled up to 41 finishes. I did 24 fully finished objects. So that means that I fully finished it, whether into an ornament or I framed it. So I did 24 of those. And I think I kind of mentioned some of those while I was going through my list of finishes. I had a total stitch count. This is taking each individual tent stitch or back stitch. I'm not going to say I counted all my back stitch this year, but I did count some of it because some of the projects that I'm working on had a little bit additional back stitching and stuff that I could count. So that totaled up to be 253,936 stitches for the year. So I passed 250, over a quarter mil stitches for 2024. That is amazing. I think that's the highest stitch count yet, at least as far as I've been tracking it. If I take the tent stitching or the back stitching out, like divide that by half, the total full stitches are 208,916 stitches. Still a really big number. I think my daily average, if I use the total stitch count, the quarter mil number, multiplied out to be like 694 stitches, almost 700 stitches a day. And I had 68 no stitch days last year. I started 2024 with a whip count of 14 whips, and I ended 2024 with a whip count of 23 whips. Some of that is because I did 12 by 12, and I also did some new starts for the year, and joined in some styles. So that was a lot. Hopefully you kept track of everything, everything that I said made sense to you. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them. I might do a separate, maybe like mini reel of all my finishes. I know I have some of them posted on my Instagram, and then if you really wanted to scroll through my Instagram, you'll see all of them. And I do have some of them pinned on my page, so you can see them that way too, if you're curious. So we went through my tallies. Let's go over what I've been stitching on this week. So we'll start off from the 1st of January. So the 1st of January, I did start, I started the Festival Fruit Bat, which was a freebie from the Blue Flower that she handed out to the Jingle Ball attendees for 2024. I started that from my 12 by 12, and I finished that on the 1st. So it's my first start of 2025. So with all the BAPs that I'm starting, at the very least, I can say I had one finished if I don't finish anything else this year. So I did stitch on that to finish it, and I'm also maybe thinking about turning into a pillow. I'm already outlining the rest of this here. This is stitched on 16 count Greystones fabric in the colorway Mary, and I stitched it 2/1 block of Beta using DMC, called for DMC. I'll leave that out for a minute. My New Year, New Start was Persephone. This is I'll insert a picture here. It's based off the artwork by Chris Bug, and it was charted by Thread Geeks. My sister helped me dye this fabric because I'm not going to do a lot of the background stitching. I'm going to crop it a bit, and maybe the picture I inserted will show you the crop that I'm planning on doing. I'm stitching just the black. I think a lot of my full coverages I just started on the black just to give me a good starting off point. And I did like the middle ribbon in her robe as a start. I think it's only like 500 stitches or so, and I'm doing it 2/1 10 stitch. so it's helping it go a little bit quicker. With all the full covers that I'm doing this year, I want to see progress on it, and I don't want to, you know, have it going on so many years that I give up on the project or something like that. So that was my new year, new start. Then on the second, I stitched on Be Well. This is a chart from Bestitch Me. I think I have the pattern here that I can show you. Or sorry, not from Bestitch Me. This is from Forbidden Fabric Co. The chart is called Be Well. I'm stitching on the fall 4 fabric. This is 32 count Winter Sparrow, dyed by Forbidden Fabric Co. And I'm stitching at 2/2. It's a linen. I have the word well on there. I was also stitching that a little bit today as well. And I have the heart stitched, then I'll do the bee, and then I can start doing the surrounding border. The pattern. I did buy the Beautiful Noise thread that Forbidden Fabric Co. also dyed. And the colorway is 1034, and I think it's in the like plate. It's like an interesting color and has interesting variegation. So I did get that thread, and I think the rest of it is just DMC. On the third, I was stitching on my Biscornu. I didn't start this on the third, but I stitched on this on the third. This is the Cardinal Biscornu by Tiny Modernist. I am again stitching this on 16 count Grey Snow fabrics in the colorway Mary. I'm stitching at 2/180 block with the DMC threads. I've outlined both of the Biscornu squares, and I've done one corner of one of the patterns. So it's going to be repeated in all the corners, and then this one's going to be like ornaments here. I'll insert a picture and you'll see what that is going to look like, hopefully when it's finished. I really like this fabric. I like how it's stitching up. I was concerned that maybe the brown and the branches would blend in a bit, but it's actually popping really nicely, and the reds look really nice on that fabric too. So I'm very happy with that. Then I had a new start. I started my Disney Princess pattern. This is one that I bought off of Etsy, and I started it for the Princess Birthday Sal for Allison's birthday from the Globe. Cross Stitch the Globe. I was going to say something totally different. Cross Stitch the Globe. This is another BAP, and again I started on the black, and I stitched this corner here. It's like about 1,000 stitches right there. And I'm not even, like, this has 12 princesses. I'm not even, like this isn't the edge of where the princess is. I think there's, like, more stitching over here to get to the frame of where I think the first one in this corner is Mulan. So that'll be interesting. I'll decide what I want to do once I get the black outline stitched on that. If I want to continue stitching the princess, or if I'll do more of the black outline, if that's easier for me to get a little more of a start in that. I also got the next segment in my Sal with my friends from Stitch Florida. We are doing Sal using Susan at Sweet Wing Studios pattern, The Noblest Part. We are stitching this on 16 count Grey Snow fabrics in the colorway Mary, and we're each doing one part. I think we split it up into 6 parts. And so I stitched Faith and Friendship and the next floss drop. So that was the next part. So we have like 4 parts finished here, and then there'll be 2 more parts, and then hopefully this will be done. So I finished the stitching on that. So that'll be ready to send on to the next person. And I think the hashtag we're doing for that is the Friendship Retreat Sal. So feel free, if you want to start the Noblest Part, either by yourself or with some friends, feel free to join us on that. And please tag me as well if you decide to do it, so I can keep up with your progress. You know, Instagram's been doing that weird thing about hashtags. So feel free to tag me and use the hashtag, and that way I can see when you join us and when we make more progress on it. There's no timeline on that Sal. No obligations or deadlines for that. I also recently started the Winter Wonderland Sal, the Woodland Winter Sal. Autumn Lane Stitchery is hosting that. They started it on January 5th. I can insert a picture of what the first chart release is. This is going to be a 5-part Sal. If you're interested in joining us, feel free to go onto the website and buy the chart. And they'll send you the information, the floss list, and the first part They're doing weekly releases, and they're not promising that it's going to be available after they're done, or if they do finish it, and they do decide to make it available later on, it's not going to be anytime soon. So if you enjoy it, the first part is out. I will show you the colors that they called for in the frost list. And I have prepared here on my floss card. And I chose a fabric out of stash. I'm stitching this on a 22 count hard anger fabric. It's a nice dark blue color. And I think all these colors are going to look really good. This is as far as I've gotten on the first part. They've given us like a little house and some trees. So I just started at the center, I started on the house, and then eventually get to the trees and the other things. The first part is like 2,500 stitches, so that's a pretty decent amount for a week. Definitely doable. So hopefully get some more stitching on that later this week. And I'm stitching it, if I didn't say, I know I said the fabric, but I am stitching it 1/1 with that DMC, all the cardboard DMC. They also recommended getting like a sparkly white thread to maybe integrate later on. So I do have this. I might just lay it with a half stitch of this. It's like a nice white opalescent thread. If I decide to add sparkle to it, we'll see as the rest of the pattern comes out. I think it also looks good without sparkle, but it might be cute to do some of the sparkle in the snow. So I haven't decided as of yet. And I'm going to shamelessly show off one of the little clutches that my husband got for me. He found this at TJ Maxx. I'm a big stitch lover. Look at how cute that is. It's got like a little side pocket to like put your notions and your little accessories in. So I have like a little hoop in there that I've been using to stitch with this. I found that he found that at TJ Maxx. And the brand, I guess, I don't know if you can find it online, but it's Impressions. I'd never heard of that before. It's a cute little clutch. I stitched on Wintry Wolf. This was a kit given to me by my sister. It's a Dimensions stamped cross stitch kit. It's on like an embroidery fabric. So it's been a little awkward trying to, because you gotta use like a sharp needle, not a tapestry needle. And I feel like you don't, or at least I'm not stitching as evenly on it as I would like a linen or a cross stitch fabric. But I just added this section here. This was already stitched. So I try to, put at least one thread in it before I put it away. I don't think this was even 100 stitches, but I don't know, it's just not the most enjoyable thing, but I think it's just because I'm not used to it. I know Stitching Moon had some similar comments when she was working on her cross stitch baby blanket. It was a stamped cross stitch baby blanket, and she also had to pierce it and stuff. But I think it will still turn out looking really nice at the end. So I think it's worth it to keep on stitching on it. And of course, my sister gifted it to me, so I do want to keep working on it. And it's winter, so it's like the perfect time for it. So I'll keep bringing it out and trying to get some progress on that as I go. We'll see when the next time I'll bring it out is. But it has started getting colder here, so it's definitely appropriate. I think that's everything I stitched on. I'm planning on stitching on one of my full coverage pieces today as well. I haven't stitched on it yet, but I can show you. This is a Gecko Rouge kit. It's based off artwork by Dalen Ogden, and it's called Dracaris. I'm stitching this on 28 count gridded even weave. And I'm doing 2 over 1/10 stitch. And the company Gecko Rouge, they use DMC thread, so this is all DMC. I have the 2 corners of the pattern already done. So this is kind of like Art Nouveau style. I have these corners done already, and the word Dracaris done, and then these 3 main motifs. So I moved it down. I've been stitching on the dragon and a little bit on Daenerys here. And I kind of put this away to stitch on other things at the end of last year, so I kind of want to get back to this. I have a good bit done into it, and I want to keep that progress going, so I want to pull it out and get a little bit of stitching done on her today. Sorry, I bumped the camera there. So that's everything that I had to show you that I stitched on. I have a calendar that I'm going to be using for this year. I think I showed it previously on my channel. It's a nice big print, so you should be able to read some of the things that I wrote on here. This has been the past week. I have my weekly stitching that I count for Sunday to Saturday, so that includes some days in December, but my weekly total by Saturday, the end of Saturday, was 6,274 stitches. I have some of my daily counts here, but that shows basically everything that I've talked to you about so far. And I don't have my numbers down yet for today because the day hasn't ended yet. So today is January 6th, and hopefully I'll be able to get some more stitching done today and add those numbers. I think I've already done 400 stitches into Be Well. So I might go ahead and switch over and stitch some more on Dracarys and see where I get with that. So that has been my stitchy progress. I did a summary on where I am with my whips. I had a whip count of 27. I'm still working. I've technically finished the Festival Fruit Bat that I showed, but I am working to make it into a pillow, so I might do back stitching on the second square that you saw me stitching up and put some wording on there, maybe like Jingle Ball 2024 to commemorate that. So I'm still counting it, but it's really, I don't know, I consider technically done. I'm just using it to doing the rest of the stitching to fully finish it. But I have 27 whips outlined. I don't know if you can read that, but I'll go over it. The largest going from, well, a little bit of, I'll go from largest total stitch count to smallest total stitch count, and then there's some that I don't have a stitch count for, like the Wintry Wolf that I just showed you. I don't have that as a digital chart, and it doesn't have a grid, so it's not necessarily easy to upload into Pattern Keeper and like mark off what I've done already. So I've guesstimated the stitch count on that, and some of my secret stitches that I started for 12 by 12 have also been guesstimated. But my going from largest to smallest for the stitch count that I do know, we have Lily Finnick, that is a Haid. I started that as a start leading up to Three Kings Day. The total stitch count is 374,850 stitches. I am stitching on that for hashtag finish before I'm finished. That was started by Tess Lynn on Flosstube and on Instagram. She is a Bab. She is my first Haid. Tess was very nice to encourage me to start it. I think I bought that chart originally in 2019 and just never started it because I was a little intimidated because it's so big. But she encouraged me, so I started it, and we'll see how we get with that. No cropping because I don't, just the way the pattern's laid out, I don't want to crop anything out of it. So we'll see how that goes. I just went full force into it. The next largest one would be the Disney Princesses. That is 292,000 stitches and 292,500 stitches. It's another really big one. I started that for the hashtag Princess Birthday Sal for Allison at Cross Stitch the Globe. And I guess I can go through the percentages. I stitched maybe like 1,000 stitches on Lily Finnick, but it's only at like 0.3% of the way through. Disney Princesses is only 0.4% of the way through. I stitched also like around 1,000 stitches. I'm starting off with DMC block. My Dracarys is my next largest piece. It's 224,058 stitches, and that's actually at 32%, so I actually have a good chunk started for that. Next is Persephone. This is actually one of the first under 100,000 stitches. For the crop, and this is the cropped stitch count, it would be 89,129 stitches, and I have her at 0.6% currently, and I think I only have 500 stitches in her right now, around 500. The next one is also full coverage design. It's Cauldron of Myr. It's by Unconventional X Stitch, and I started that for the hashtag Phoenix Sal. It was the sal that they did to help raise money for when they had that terrible house fire. I cropped it down, and this is the crop down stitch count of 45,365 stitches, and I am currently 1.3% of the way into that, and I think I also have like around 1,000 stitches in there. The next one is Angel of Elegance. That is a DMC Gold Collections kit. I put it into Pattern Keeper, and not including back stitching, just like the block stitching, it's 31,592 stitches, so she's a big one. I have her at approximately 6% right now, and that's one of my oldest whips. I think I started her in 2021, and I just really don't bring her out unless it's like Christmas time, so I just get a little bit of stitching on her here and there. We'll see if I make her, or if I get more stitching on her. I know Blushing Pink Stitches did all the kits April last year. I might bring her out for that, because I also did a Dimensions kit for that, so that would be a good candidate for that. Then I have Circle of Friends. That is a Mirabilia. The stitch count on that, according to Pattern Keeper, is 21,085 stitches. I'm at 0.2% on that, which is not surprising because I think that was part of my 12 by 12 and I only put like a stitch count of around 50 stitches, so that's minimal. Then the Mermaid Marina. This was part of the Autumn Lane Mermaid box. I'm not going to show you more than that so that there's not any spoilers if you haven't gotten your box. I know some people haven't gotten their box yet, but that is one of the patterns, and it's one of the kitted up patterns, and I started that. The total stitch count for Pattern Keeper that I got was 200,342 stitches, and I currently have that at 0.3%. I have Periwinkle Mermaid. That's by Whittier. That's a pattern by Whittier Stitches on Instagram. I think it is currently for sale, so you can buy it. That has a total stitch count of 19,926, and I'm currently 8.7% into that one. Mermaid of the Pearls, that is another Mirabilia chart. That has a total stitch count of 17,403 stitches. I'm currently 10% of the way into that. Be Well, that's the Forbidden Fiber Coat pattern I just showed you. It's 8,894 stitches based off Pattern Keeper, and I'm 12.7%, almost 13% into the way to that. I also have Sweet Summertime. That is a Cottage Garden Samplings chart. It's from their A Time for All Seasons series. It's the Rooster, and this is the cropped stitch count of 6,371 stitches, and I'm 33% of the way into that. No hurry with that one, just enjoying stitching it. I also started Unfortunate Souls. That is another pattern by Stitch Me. It's based off Little Mermaid, and the total stitch count that I got off that when I put into Pattern Keeper was 4,824, and that is at 4% currently. Cardinal Biscornu, I think I included the back stitching in this stitch count, but that would be 3,620 stitches, and I'm currently 28% into that. The noblest part, that is the Sal that I'm doing with my friends from Stitch Florida. I estimated that count to be 2,940 stitches, not including back stitch or anything like that. Or maybe including some back stitch. I don't think this is including all the back stitch in there. And I'm at 74% of the weight with that. Twilight Mermaid, that was part of the Under the Sea Fabrics 2023 Mermaid box. It's by Meridian Designs. And I have that total stitch count for that. Based off Pattern Keeper was 2,540 stitches. I'm at 3% of the way into that. Woodland Winter Sal, I just recently started that. The first part is 2,511 stitches, and I'm 16% of the way in through that. Sky Hunter, the part that I'm going to be stitching, has 2,318 stitches left to go. Sorry, that is the total stitch count of what I was stitching after a certain point, because this doesn't include some of the places that I have to fill in from when the other person was stitching on it. But that's at 70%. But again, it's I will have less than 2,000 stitches left to do, so I really do want to try to finish that one. The Magic of Winter, that was a fairly new start. Puppies, do you hear my puppies over there grumbling? No grumbling. That has a total stitch count of 2,109 stitches. I'm 3% of the way into that. Festival Fruit Bat, I'm technically finished with that, but I have it on here just as a reminder that I want to finish the back stitching on the other part of it so that I can finish into a pillow. Wintry Wolf, I'm guesstimating has around 6,000 stitches. I don't really have anything to base that off of, but according to that, then I'm like 2.4% of the way in. I am keeping track of like the number of stitches that I put onto it, but I don't know about the full stitch count. Then I have 6 different secret stitches that I started for 12 by 12. These I do not have total stitch counts on. I am tracking my stitches on it though, so I will get a total, like a final stitch count when I finish it. So right now I'm really just around 1% on all of these. I only stitched around like 50 stitches with them for my 12 by 12. So the total commitment of all of that is over 1 million stitches. So that's a lot. I think my max last year was 300 stitches, something like that. If I sub, because these are all BAPs and I'm not going to get them done anytime, like I'm not going to get all these done this year. If I max it out or limit it to 100,000 stitches on each of these in the year, which is still a lot, then the total will come down to 586,495 stitches for my balance of like the total stitch count for all these projects. Right now I have 3 projects that are over 100,000 stitches. I have 1 that is over 75,000. I have 0 that are between 5,000 and 75,000. I have 4 that are above 20,000. I have 2 that are above 10,000, and I have 9 that are above 5,000 stitches. I have 6 that are under 5,000, or no, that's right, yeah, 6 that are under 5,000, and then I have 1 that's just a margin project. I don't know. Oh, that's the Sky Hunter. I marked that as the Sky Hunter project. I put my max stitch count at 1,000,000. Like I said, I'm over it if I don't max out, like put a cap on the BAPs that I have. But if I take that into account, I'm still okay. But I do have a maximum weight count of 25. I am currently above that, and that is not including the bat. I think the Festival Fruit bat puts me at 27. So I have currently 26 whips. I do want to pare that down. So I want to finish one of these soon. I will say that I just recently started and chose to participate in the Woodland Winter Sale, so I think that's what pushed me past 25. But, you know, the Nobles part, that's like an intermittent sale. The Woodland Winter Sale, that's also a sale, and I'm pretty good about keeping up with my sales, so hopefully that'll help. You know, those will finish soon, and then I'll be back to below 25 whips. So those are all my numbers currently, and for the end of 2024. I think this is going to work. My whip count did expand. I kind of expected that, like the more I started doing Flosstube and seeing what everybody else had to stitch, and then people, you know, kept engaging with me and kept making me aware of more and more mermaid patterns and things going on. So I figured my whip count would increase, but I am a little encouraged that I was able to finish so many things last year. So I'm hoping that I get a similar amount of time to work on my stitchy things this year. And I'm looking forward to 2025 and how my channel progresses from here. I had many people that subscribed to my channel last year and were able to participate in giveaways and were able to leave me very encouraging comments and share their cross-stitching with me and share their some people have shared their lives with me. They've reached out to me, they've messaged me, we've talked. I feel like I'm making new stitchy friends every day, and this has been such a great experience. I think everybody understands and acknowledges that stitchers are some of the best people, and this is a wonderful community to be a part of. So I haven't done a review of the Flosstubers that I'm watching. I'm like backlogged over probably 1,000 videos at this point. But there have been some new ones that I've been seeing popping up, and I'm trying to take notice of them when I see them. So I have tried to save some of the first Flosstubes that I've come across. So I'll make sure to shout those people out. I know I have some whips to do. I want to do a whip parade for the whips that I currently have, since I have so many now. So I'll be doing that later as well. And I definitely want to go see other people's whips. I know whip parades videos that they're putting out. I know James the PH Stitcher, he does beautiful fancy ladies, and I haven't watched his yet, so that's on my list. And I know other people are putting out whip parades, just, you know, show what they're working on for 2025 as well, or show what they ended off 2024 with. So I'm looking forward to watching those videos and finishing up watching all my Flossmas videos that I backlogged. So thank you for sharing this time with me and for visiting with me, and hopefully you enjoyed what I had to share. And if you have any comments or questions for me, please put them down in the comments below. I also post semi-daily posts on Instagram showing what I've been stitching on that day. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm also OfficialMermaidsCove on Instagram, and you can follow what I'm doing there. And I look forward to seeing you and sharing more of what I'm working on for 2025. Hopefully you're doing well. We made it through the holidays. We survived. Hopefully you and your loved ones were able to celebrate. And if not, you know, surviving it is an achievement in and of itself, right? So congrats for getting this far. Congrats for making it 2025. I hope this new year has nothing but good things for you, and it's full of peace and rest and warm wishes from me to you and your family. And hopefully this is best year yet. Fingers crossed, right? Until next time, happy stitching. Bye.